Hello, everybody. I'm David Mustonen, Communications Director for the Dearborn Public Schools. Joining me today, our new Superintendent, Dr. Maleyko. Glenn, how are you today?
Doing very well. Thank you, David. Thank you for having me here today.
Great. And also with us today is Chris Sipperley, President of the Dearborn Federation of Teachers. Hi, Chris.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How's it going?
Very
good.
Well.
You're a lot of fun, aren't you?
Yes, I love it.
All right, awesome. Well, we are going to be doing this probably every month, maybe a little bit more often, but at least every month, just getting together with the superintendent here and talking about programs going on in our district, new initiatives, new things, new plans, all kinds of fun stuff. That's really all it's about, is just getting everybody up to date on some of the things going on in the district. And Glenn, well, I mean, you've got hundreds of things going on now. As the new guy in town, I know you submitted a 90-day plan when you first got here. Now you submitted some more long-term goals to the Board of Education. So we've got a lot going on. You've got a lot of things that we want to share with our community. Today, we have a very specific topic that we're going to be talking about, and it's called home visits. And why don't you just give us a little bit about how that came to be and how Chris is involved and what we're talking about here with these home visits.
Sure. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it on the show, and I look forward to the show monthly. And although I might be the new guy as far as this position, I've been here 20 years, so really dedicate and enjoy what's going on here in Dearborn Schools. And again, I want to just reach out and commend all the community and the staff for doing really a wonderful job the start of the year. That I'm about 110 days in now, and we presented before the board, and it's very exciting. Also, just want to mention that in the studio we have a few people, Deneen Charles, Ms. Violet Swiden, and Ms. Peterson here to support the effort. So this was our first choice for the program, and so we're making sure that it's an important one. And I also want to just thank Chris and the DFT, because this idea really came from a positive collaboration between union, between management, and I think that's just the way we've operated things. And so, to be honest, I'm going to give more credit to the teachers union and Chris, because it's really going to be an initiative that we're going to support, but they're really taking the forefront and the leadership. And I think some of it stemmed from, again, our collaboration of going together in a positive way. We went to a conference together and we saw some great things that were occurring, and it was an idea to help students. And what I saw right away from the team was, and this was prior to me even being a superintendent, was that this will help. Why not implement it? And the DFT jumped on it and said, yeah, let's collaborate. Let's make this work. So I think this is an important model, and we're going to take it, I believe, slow to make sure it's implemented properly. We don't want anybody to get overwhelmed, but it is a way to connect better with the parents in the community, and we have seen some success out there with other models across the country.
Great. So Chris, do you want to kind of get into the details of what this is all about? Or?
Well, it's actually a developed project that started in Sacramento, California. Okay. It's called the Parent-Teacher Home Visit Project. That's what we learned about when we went to the Chicago conference. And then I went to an AFT Teach conference in Washington, D.C. over the summer. And there was actually another presentation on this done by the president of the St. Paul Federation of Teachers in Minnesota. And he is also the vice president of the Home Visit Project. Okay. So he's very heavily involved. And it was kind of, like, okay, first we saw it in Chicago, and we really liked the concept, and then a couple months later I'm in DC, and here it is again, and here's all the help just coming right into our lap. It's a developed project, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Perfect. And it just, the amount of success that they talked about, that they have with this, that it was just something that, we got to give it a shot.
Sure. So let's talk about what this actually involves and who's involved in it when we're actually hit the ground running and we're doing this home visits. So who's actually involved in these home visits, and how does this work?
Well, I'll tell you right now that there's 4 non-negotiables. Okay. The first one is that the staff and the families have to want to do it. So if they don't want to do it, we don't do it. The other one is that the staff is trained and compensated for the visits. And you always do visits to the home in teams of 2. You never go by yourself. And there's only 2 visits that you do. The first one is considered a relational visit. Mm-hmm. You go in the, right before school starts or right when school starts. 20 minutes, and you get to know the family. You don't bring papers with you. You don't bring grades with you. You don't bring anything with you. It's just a hi, how are you? Share a cup of coffee, and the student is there too, so you can get to know the student. And from what we were told in these conferences is that these families just love this because you're going to their comfort zone.
Gotcha.
And so
Makes
that
sense.
helps them to really relate to you better. And then, of course, we all know that if we have parents involved with their students and everything, and we have strong relationships with them, that only helps so much during the school year to get their child to where they need to go. And then you visit in the spring again to catch up on how things are going and provide them with any type of support they may need over the summer. Ideas and things like that, maybe worksheets or books or, websites, things like that, because they want to work with their kids over the summer so that they're ready to roll in September again.
Sure.
So it's about building relationships.
And I just add, I think that's a critical aspect is, you build that trust. And really for the faculty, we're in it to help students in their achievement and their learning. And so this is another way to build a trust in a partnership and a collaboration with the parents. And I think that's the important thing that you mentioned with the first visit, the relationship building. Because you go out there and the parents feel like, look, these adults, these teachers, these whoever it may be, the support staff, they really care about our children. And I've seen it done positively. We actually currently do implement it with our preschool model, the GSRP, on a very successful level. And as a principal, I had implemented this model on several occasions at Salina and at Duval. And again, I think it's just that mutual respect. So in the long term of the program, you're helping students, but it's also saving a lot of work or headache or whatever you may want to say for the teachers, because the relationship is already built from the start. It's proactive. We're not just calling the parents when there might be a problem. We're calling them on, here, we want to work with you. Now, if a problem comes up, then you've already established that. Or maybe it might be a positive. Look, this is what the student has done in a positive way. How can you now move forward to help even advance them further? So I think that is a critical aspect of just that mutual respect, which also goes along with one of our non-negotiables in the district, which is part of my goals, is the customer service. It goes to customer service and serving the parents and the students.
Well, too, I think that it's not uncommon for a school, a principal, a teacher to contact the parent. That's the flow of communication that I think parents are used to. I think for it to come the other way, parents don't always feel comfortable with that.
Exactly.
And now we're making it so they can feel comfortable with that. They shouldn't feel afraid to send an email to the teacher or to call the teacher because, like you said, they've built this relationship beforehand. And so now it's more, I noticed my kid's not getting this homework at home. What can I do to help out? So it's, like you said, it builds that relationship early on so that communication can flow both ways.
Yeah.
And I think it's differentiating and allowing different opportunities for communication. So we're unveiling our blog campaign and social media. Well, that does have its limitations, social media, because you're not there face to face. This is another way to enhance and improve communication and to be really more personable about it.
So what you said, we're rolling this out kind of slow, kind of, gradually building on this. What are the numbers that you're looking at? So for an example, are we looking at home visits for every student in the school or just a select few? Or how do we determine who's going to get these visits and how this is going to work?
Right. Well, first remember that this is voluntary from the family and the staff. Okay. So this would be another tool in a teacher's toolbox. Okay. So if a teacher decided they wanted to give this a try, what the project itself says is in the first year you only do 3 to 5 visits. So you pick 3 to 5 students. You purposely pick 3 to 5 students, not based on anything in particular, because this isn't about only helping at-risk students or anything like that. It's about building relationships. So, and then they, would have to contact the parents to see if they want us to come and visit. The parents could say no. So the range is 3 to 5 the first year. after that, after people get comfortable, after the word spreads and people are like, oh, please come visit us, then it's 6 to 8 a year.
Okay.
And that's 2 visits per student.
Okay.
And another, I think, really advantageous aspect of this is that it's not only remember, 2 people have to go.
Oh,
okay. So one of them is the teacher, but the other one could be anybody else who works for Dearborn Public Schools, because we all are involved in our students' achievement.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So it could be a bus driver. I mean, maybe the student, gets on a bus every morning and just loves their bus driver, and the teacher knows it because the child walks into class and is talking about, Mr. Smith or whatever, so she asks the bus driver to go. It could be the principal. It could even be you.
Awesome. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Is there some type of follow-up with this? Some kind of, do we do any types of surveys or something that follow all this up on how this is working, or how does that all play into this?
Well, I would say, that's just when you evaluate a program, you're going to look at data and how well, you're implementing it. So some of the follow-up may be, both looking at, ultimately we talked about student achievement and growth. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to correlate some of that. Now, it might not be directly linked to a home visit, but is that one of the factors? The other thing is, we would want some feedback from the parents on how they felt about it. Could we improve? And from the staff. Are there things that we need to do or change? And so I think it's important to have feedback to see if you need to modify and improve. I would say with any goals you set, just like through an evaluation or goals for your career or your business or whatever it is, what you're setting a goals because this is the objective, to hit those targets. But as you go along, you're going to find things you need to improve and tweak. And that's what if we're effective as we're taking on, this is a goal. And as we move forward, we're going to see what works and what doesn't. We have a good idea of some of the things that work because it's been done and replicated in other cities, and the AFT has taken leadership, and we have some experiences in our own district. But having said that, as we look on a district-wide level, how could it be replicated? So the schools that first volunteer, what are the things we need to do if we do eventually include most or all of the schools throughout the district? And again, that would not be this year, but that's something we'll monitor closely. And
to get this started, once people have viewed this, they're going to be able to the teachers are going to be able to take a survey on SurveyMonkey to say if they were interested, because we're not doing this across the district wide.
Sure.
We only want to work with a few buildings first, work the kinks out, have the experts come and help us and train us and everything, and and then go from there. Again, slow but sure.
Slow but sure.
Okay.
Well, that's always a good way, especially as a district this size. We're talking 19,700 students, and that's a lot of families. That's 13,000 families or so. So pulling this out, running this out slow at first, getting all those bugs worked out, probably a good way to go about doing it.
And I just want to say, too, for those that do volunteer, I think it's really an opportunity, because I did this as a teacher, as a third grade teacher, my first year as a fifth grade teacher. Mm-hmm. I've done it as a principal and supported it, and I really see the connection you can make with the families to really build that trust so that you are really out there helping. And again, it saves me a lot of work in the long run because that connection and that network is there. Today, though, we have all these, 18 years ago when I started full-time, approximately, we didn't have all the things like email and all the nice communication tools. Now we have all those blogs. So we can use that to our advantage, and we can, encourage parents to get involved and to communicate with us as well using those areas. So to me, it's really a way to really connect, and I've personally seen the positive benefits of implementing it.
Yep, and studies have shown too that, even though we have email and Twitter and Facebook and what else are you on?
LinkedIn and what else, David? LinkedIn,
Instagram.
WordPress.
The most effective way to build a relationship is still having a conversation with someone.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone says, right? Social media is everything but social, because it lacks the face-to-face personal communication that we all know that's what's necessary to really build a relationship. So Anything else that we want to add?
I just like to add, I appreciate Chris and the DFT and the committee. I mentioned some of the names, but we have others in cabinet involved, but really the DFT and I know Jane Mazza and the entire DFT for their hard work and their dedication to the students. And this is another way of showing, despite some of the negative political things that are out there on a state and national level, that look, unions and management really do work together collaboratively. Sure. And when we work together, we're going to have a better product that we offer for our students. And she's had a consistent the entire DFT organization. So I appreciate the positive, collaborative, and we at times can disagree, but we do it, for the betterment. It really, sure. And it's very respectful. So again, I really appreciate their willingness to take the lead on this.
Right.
And I just wanted to mention that all of our union members receive a magazine called The American Educator, and it just came. And there is an article inside this magazine by Nick Faber, who is the president of St. Paul Federation of Teachers, and all about the home visit. So another resource that the teachers can look at while they're considering this.
Excellent resource. All right. Great. Well, see, that was it. That wasn't painful at all.
Not too bad.
Not at all.
And we look forward to next month.
That's right.
Chris, you're on.
You're on for next month too. Chris is going to become a regular.
See, she's a natural. What are you worried about?
Exactly.
You did great.
We're just going to change the name of the program to the Superintendent and Chris Show.
Or the Chris and Superintendent Show.
Right?
Right?
It works out. All right. Well, like I said, we'll be doing this at least monthly, maybe even a little bit more. You can look for it right on our district's YouTube channel and also on Channel 19, as always. So thanks, everybody, for spending a few minutes with us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.